Hi and welcome to Solar FPV. My name is Anas and yeah, I'm back at my desk. I'm thinking this is just a little tiny aftermarket Whoop drone, tiny ducted drone, and it's got brushed motors and it's got an E010 flight controller. So this is like a really old drone. It's still flying great. Different camera than this is kind of the way we did it back in the day. I've soldered on some some connectors so that I can take off the camera easily and use it for other projects, other drones. And I've also soldered in some connectors for the motors, so that it would be easy to change the frame. And I've had a little frame break, and I kind of realized it because the motor kept on getting hot. Can you see that? So it's broken right in there. Yeah, right there. So I thought I'd just do a little video on how quickly you can fix one of these when you've got all the connectors and solder joints and stuff. Right, so let's start by taking this off. It's a little foam pad for the batteries. And what else do I need to do? Well, I guess I need to take everything off. Here we go. Rubber band. That can stay. Let's take off the props. I use a pair of tweezers, kind of ease it in there and then just turn it like this, and then I can put my tweezers in and pop. There's one. Anyway, the weather's really good today and I really wanted to go flying, but it's also very cold today. It's about 5 degrees out Celsius, so it's not really optimal for batteries and flight time, but it is nice that the sun is shining and that I can sit here in my workshop and have a cup of coffee and do some YouTube, and just repair my quads. Well, my tiny Whoop here, so there we go. So when the frame breaks, the motors have to really work quite hard to compensate, and so you get some hot motors. So yeah, let's just take this off. Got some screws. Take the screws out, and this is the new frame. This product is about, I don't know, 4-5 years old, and it's just still working. Obviously the radio is pretty shit, but when you get used to flying it, you can still have fun with this. And the good thing about it is it all fits in a lunchbox that I've padded with the packaging stuff, and this is like, and then you just have to bring your goggles and then you're ready to go FPV, which I really like. It's like the super easiest. I wish they would make like a decent radio. I've just seen the TBS, and there's some other radios coming out that fly D8, which are bigger than this, more like a PlayStation controller, and I can't wait to see what they're going to be like, because I think that's going to be something people are going to want, just to be able to bring your FPV gear anywhere and have a good time. Yeah, there we go, 4 screws, and then I can take the whole flight controller and everything out. When you do this, remember how your motors go. So I know that it's red, blue, white, black, red, blue, white, black. Okay? So red, blue, white, black. And then now I just need to take out these little motors. Here we go. There we go. So let's take these off. You need to have nails to do this. You can't bite your nails and do and work with this tiny. You need nails. I'm just telling you, don't bite your nails. you'll never be able to fix this. There we go. That's pretty much taken apart. Now I just need to push out the motors. I'll do that. It's very beat up, this frame. There we go. Take this out. A good pair of tweezers. You can buy these from all kinds of online shopping platforms, and you can also buy them in in stores that have supplies for electronics supplies and stuff like that. But I've always had these. These are my go-to pairs. They're very old, and I really like them. It's a nice little set. Here we go. The motors are fine. I changed these motors not so long ago, so the motors are absolutely fine. Well, at least I hope they're fine. Find out. And there we go. Push this. Just got to be a bit careful. You take these things apart. There we go. To not like rip the wires off the motors right here at the bottom, as you see right there. I mean, these are very thin. There we go. And let's just get this one out there. There's a little tag there. Come on, get out. There we go. And then push the motor out using the tweezers. Trying not to hit the cables. There we go. Boom. These are Chowli, I think they're called Chowli motors. I don't even know if you can get these anymore. When I saw these like way back some years ago, I bought like a batch of 20 spare sets of these motors. Just because I knew that they would come, that, you know, brushless whoops were going to be a thing. But yeah, there we go. Pretty bad break there. So, but I still like brushed whoops. I think they're pretty, they're a lot of fun. They're very simple, very easy to maintain, and it's kind of the way that I got into the hobby. And I do think that there's still, you know, a space for brushed quadcopters in this brushless world. They might not be as efficient or reliable, because the brushes, obviously, they do wear down, so these motors don't last forever. But hey, brushless motors don't last forever either, and can't really take crashes so well. These ones actually take crashes pretty well, without anything happening. And I think it has to do with the fact that there's no bell that can be dislodged or anything. It's just a center core. These motors all feel very, very smooth. The bad thing about brush motors is there's no active braking, so you can't really okay, so this has to go on like this. So you can't really they just keep spinning. It's just, you know, they'll break down, or stop spinning, you know, when they don't get an input, and eventually the inertia of the props in the motor will stop it from spinning. Whereas brushless motors, they can do active braking because they have magnets inside, so they can do that. There we go. That's one of them. Here's another one. Actually, this one is almost breaking here, but it'll be okay. I think it's better this frame. It's always nice to have a new frame. Put a quad together with a new frame, even though it's just a tiny little ducted whoop drone. But I'm impressed. I've been flying this very, very much. I mean, this E010. It's just a lot of fun. And you can get them for like almost nothing. So if you get like a pair of cheap goggles, like the EV800Ds from Eachine, not that I'm affiliated or anything like that, but or some other goggles. And if you want to do, start cheap, you could even you could even get a coupling for your cell phone, and with that you can build your own box goggle, and stick your mobile phone in there, and then you have a pair of FPV goggles, kind of. If you really are on a budget, then I definitely would say, and you're starting out, then this is the way to go. I mean, Mobilus 6 and all that, yeah, that's a great drone, but if you're really on a budget, then this is the cheapest way you can do it. I mean, they sell spare frames. They still sell spare frames for these on Wish and Banggood. So let's just get the antenna down there where I had it there, and let's see. No, I need it to go back there. There we go. And I'm almost done. I'm gonna screw the flight controller in first, and then I'm going to put the motors in. We'll plug the motors in. Let's just get these done. Ah, come on. Now, I bought some tiny magnets, neodymium tiny magnets. Put one on your screwdriver, and boom, ready to go. Just a little trick. Now, let's see if this will actually go in. Let's see now. The flight controller is only held on by 2 screws, and then the canopy. God, that's not aligning well. Here we go. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So yeah, this is my lunchbox drone that I will bring to parks, playgrounds, stuff like that. And I don't always record footage. Just, sometimes you just need to not show everybody what you're doing when you're flying, and just actually fly it and have a good time. And that is pretty much what the hobby is all about. It's about flying and having a good time. Shout out to all the Americans that have been battling the FAA. I hope it doesn't spread to Europe, because they're gonna, with these new regulations, they're gonna make this kind of stuff. Well, indoor flying obviously is okay, but building your own drones and putting components together, if they don't make a GPS ID tag that you can implement on your own builds, then they're destroying everything. I think I have an issue here. I do. I mean, they'll literally destroy the whole hobby, because all the innovation that is coming from private people who are being innovative, and making builds and 3D printing things and designing things for the hobby. They are only going to be able to use their inventions or innovations inside, because they're not, as of what I understand, is they are not making these ID tags something that you can implement on your own builds. And that is just a total destruction of the hobby, in my opinion, and it's also a total destruction of innovation within the drone industry, because most of the innovations that you see like this came from hobbyists. I mean, this could be used in the military. This is a cheap little lunchbox drone that you can look around corners with if you're in the military on a battlefield or something like that. You know, this is made by hobbyists. This is, you know, Mr. Tiny Whoop, right? So without all these innovative new thinking people, because, you know, they love the hobby, it wouldn't spread to other industries. Anyway, we're almost ready. I just need to plug in the batteries, and then this baby's good to go. So let's see now. That gets plugged in like that. I'll have to, and then I'll sort out the cables afterwards. There we go. There's one. This one needs to be turned around like that. Let's see if I can do this. Two motors. Come on. Sometimes it's just a little bit fiddly because it's very small, all this stuff. I mean, it's some tiny components, tiny plugs. pH 1.25s. That's the name of these plugs. I say 2.1, 1.25. Anyway, let's and the 1.25 is the spacing between the holes. So the spacing is 1.25 millimeters apart. So now we've got all these wires sticking out at the bottom. Now they have to be tucked nicely in. So let's just do that. A pair of tweezers is always good for this. Tuck them in there. Please go in. There we go. There. There's a little hook down here at the bottom. Don't know if you can see it. Right there. Right there. Now, it does have a slot on one side so you can slide the wire in. So, I'm just going to be doing that. And it's actually very fiddly to do this, but it's doable. I hope. There's one more. Here's the other one. I think I bent my tweezers a bit. Yeah, I did. These are nice, but they're a little bit soft, these tweezers. I mean, they do get bent out of shape, but they're easy to bend back in shape. There we go. And then what we do with the wires is we push them underneath here. There we go. Just like that. Here we go. And then what I normally do is I'll pull them from the inside here. Make sure that they're nicely aligned there. Here we go. Last one. Well, second last. Push that in there. There we go. And put the wire in underneath. There we go. So that's why you should have tweezers, obviously. There we go. Let's do the same with this one. Twist it a bit, like that, and then just put it down underneath. There. Here we go. Nice and neat, tucked in. Last one. Come on. This one's a tricky one, I think. There we go. Then I can just pull this out a bit and twist it, and then push it in underneath very carefully. I don't want to hit anything on the flight controller and dislodge anything, but I do want to get the wires out of the way, tucked nice and neat in underneath. There we go. Yeah, looking good. Okay, now for the propellers, I think I'm actually going to go with red again on the back, and they go in that way, so here we go. Just like this. And of course, after every build, do a little test. Here we go. Take a little battery. Don't really have to have an elastic band on the camera, but because it's kind of snug in there, but I still do use it. So, but I'm gonna change to a different one. I'm gonna go like this and go like this, just to secure it. And then what I normally do is I'll do a loop around the lens, just like that, and then just, you know, give it a bit of slag, this here, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll put this in, I'll do the same with this. See, they have like these little things for a canopy on the side, but I don't use a canopy because that's extra weight, and I normally just go like this, and that's fine. That's fine. So now the camera is secure in place. Antenna's nice. Now I just need to put this one in. This is so that I can fit the elongated batteries. Now, as you see, this is a new frame, so I have to do the modification that we did back in the day. And I've got these nice little clippers, and I will clip right here, right there, and I'll clip right here as well, right there. And then what I can do is I can bend this out a little bit, and let's see if I can just take my scissors and cut this off. No, I need another tool if I can find it. Here we go. I just have to be careful here. Oh, sorry about that. That's probably easier with the scissors here. Let's try this. I still want the rigid front thing. Here we go. Just like that. Yeah, that's pretty okay. Just fix it up a bit neater, like here. There we go. Get that off. Here we go. I don't know. It's kind of neat, but then again, not so neat. Yeah, this will do. This will do. It's just so that this can go all the way through. This is something that will keep the battery a little bit snug. and then you can put the this 300 milliamp long battery, because it can stick all the way through, and then we plug it in, and everything looks good. Let's test it. That's much nicer. Yeah, these batteries have been lying there all loaded up, so they don't have the oomph. But yeah, but that should be good. Yeah, I'll just run it down to 3.83. We'll just do that. Now, obviously, this table's a bit slanted, so I'm just gonna put some trim forward. There we go. At least it sounds good. Sounds decent. But I can really feel I'm full throttle, and it's not only just hovering. That's because the batteries have been loaded up about a week ago, and I haven't been bothered to oh boy, did I just rip my antenna off? Ah, crap. Right. Well, now I've got two drones where the antenna has been ripped off, so I guess that's gonna be the next video. That's what happens sometimes. Let's see. Yeah, this will do. Just put this here. Is it fluffing up now? Oh boy. Well, that sucked a little bit, because you see, now I have to repair the camera. Antenna. Yeah, it's like it's off. It's totally off. Gotta be careful with this. There we go. Oh boy. So this kind of happened to both of these tiny little drones. Just the camera, the antenna got kind of ripped off. Some very tiny solder joints right there, and yeah, so I'm gonna have to fix that before it will work again. But I think that's it for me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and share and subscribe and comment down below. And as always, fly hard. Cheers.